Hey there, my name is David Lee with CoachDavidLee.com. The following video is an excerpt from my complete email marketing course using MailerLite. If you get some value from it, give it a like, share it out, leave any comments or questions below, and I encourage you to enroll in the full course if you really want to get a complete and effective email marketing strategy up and running within just a day or two. So enjoy the video. So now we're going to look at how to use fields. So this lesson is all about understanding and using custom fields. And fields are really important for a few reasons. First of all, what is a field? So that's when you're dealing with, someone's email, name, phone number, whatever information that you're asking for within a opt-in form, which we'll build one of those later. But it's basically your subscriber's information. Every piece of information will have its own separate field. And the main way you're going to use this, and it's pretty powerful, is for personalizing your email. So if you want to have the person's first name in the email, or maybe in the email subject line, you can put the name field in there. And we'll look at how to do that too. And then one key thing that you want to keep in mind is you want to make sure that you name your field. So if the email field is named email, if the first name field is named, name or first name. So you want to make sure that the name of the field matches up with what it's for. Example, I just keep the name field equals the person's first name, and then their last name is in the field marked last name. Okay, so we'll get out of here and then go actually create a couple of custom fields. Okay, now we're back in the subscriber section, and to create our own custom fields, we're going to click on our subscriber group again. And you'll be able to see the kind of default fields that exist here. You just go over and click on Custom Fields, and it'll pull up the fields that exist here. And typically these fields here are pretty much all you're going to need anyway, but email, name, last name, and name would actually be their first name. Company, country, city, phone, state, zip. You don't have to use really any of these. I typically just use name and email. That's really all you need to add people to your email address. But you may have some specific reasons for creating another field, and then if you want to, just click on Add Custom Field, and then give this custom field a name, and typically keep it short, but this is just so you can identify the field. And since we're dealing with Hall of Fame running backs, let's just create a field of yards for their career yardage. And we're going to keep it a text field, but if you wanted to do, for example, a certain date, you could. But we'll keep it a text field, and we're just going to add custom field, and it added it to the bottom of the list here. So the name of the field is yards, and then it's a text field, and this is kind of the code for this field. So anytime you want to add a field, for example, into your email, you would just click on the personalization tab, which we'll look at that later, and then select what field you want, and it'll basically populate that into the email, or maybe even into the email subject line. And again, typically the way that's really done is when you're personalizing your email with the person's first name. So you would add the tag for the name field, which the tag is this right here, this little bracket, the $ name, and then this little close bracket. And that would insert their first name in place of this tag. So on our end, we would see this tag here, but on their end, when they get the email, they would see their first name. So if you've ever wondered how that's done, if you've ever seen your first name in emails, that's how that's done. That's why you want to create a custom field for anything that would make sense for the type of email that you're sending. Okay, so we created a yards list. So if we wanted to insert, say, Walter Payton's career yards, then we would put the yards field tag in there in the email. So create as many as you want. You don't have to use them. You can delete them. You can use as many or as little as you want to, but that is how you create custom fields. All right, here's your pro tip for creating fields. Just make sure that the names match, or the title of your field, whatever you name it, just make sure that it matches up with what you intend it to be. Because when you go select those fields when you're creating your emails, you're going to look for it by the title or name that you gave it. Okay, so just make sure you remember that, and just make sure that it matches up with what you intended. Okay, so in the next lesson, we're going to look at how to read group reports on how many people clicked on your emails, the percentage, the open rate, things like that, and just how to kind of scan that to get some quick information on the activity of your groups.